Alright everybody, here's my torture test, the beginning of my torture test on the Mokwheel Tor Plus. So, quick background on this bike. If you follow my channel or you've watched my past videos, I bought a Sonata Sabre last year, and at first I was super impressed with the bike. It was a very similar setup to this, had a front rack, had a rear rack, had a 1000 watt motor on it, but I started having issues with this bike. I had issues with the crank arms coming loose constantly, every couple of miles. Like I actually had to have a wrench with me and tightening that up. I had some battery issues. The battery would only make it about 10 miles. And I ask a lot. I don't urban ride this thing. As you see, the backdrop is the woods. I'm going to be taking this bike up a 563 foot elevation change. Right now I'm in the valley and I'm going to head to the hilltop. It's 563 feet to the top over the course of about a half a mile. So that's a pretty steep grade. I have a cheaper Amazon e-bike that's only 350 watts. It makes it, but it almost kills me getting to the top. So we're going to see how that bike compares to this bike. I know this bike's going to outperform it. So I did a little messing around with this last night. As you can see, I made some modifications. I prefer having this style rack for my backpack or trail cameras or whatever on the back of this. But I bought this bike used. This bike, I went and got it yesterday. It had 2.7 miles on it. The guy was a military veteran. He bought it to ride back and forth to work, and he didn't like it. He said it wasn't fast enough for him. He said he could only hit 28 miles an hour. So I did a speed run on it. I didn't verify any of that, but I hit 31 miles an hour, pedaling pretty hard. And then throttle only will do 20, and that's all off of the speedometer here. So I picked this thing up for 700 bucks. As far as I'm concerned, I absolutely stole it. It came with the rack, the front rack. It came with a rear bag, which I'm not using. I'm actually probably going to put that on my dual sport. That rear bag is amazing. It came with another seat. It came with mirrors. But this is probably going to be the look of it moving forward. I'm probably not going to put anything else on this bike. So I did test out the tail lights and the headlight last night. Most of the headlights on these bikes are garbage. They barely illuminate the front tire. I will throw up some pictures of that, and I took a video of me riding it down the road. And the headlight on this thing is actually pretty impressive. I wish it was a little bit wider of a beam. It's a pretty narrow beam, but it's pretty bright. So A+ there on the headlight. That is definitely the best that I've seen on an e-bike. So without further ado, we're going to take this thing up the hill. I'm gonna do some self-filming going up, and then I'll set up the tripod and film me going up past it, stuff like that. And like I said, I don't know what the angle of this hill is, but it is very steep and very long. It's about half mile to the top, and like I said, it's 560 foot of elevation change. So stay tuned. Just a couple pictures here so you can see the tail lights and the headlight, and then we're going to be going up the hill. Okay, right here in the beginning of the hill, I am pedaling. I am in third gear. I'm going 7 miles an hour. I am not working at all. So this is the pretty easy part of the hill. Okay, this is a little bit steeper part of the hill here. I'm still in third gear. I'm still in assist mode 2. This thing goes clear up to assist 5. I'm going 9 miles an hour. This thing is destroying this hill. So, super impressed so far. Okay, I don't know if you can see the bike clear down there or not, but we're gonna bring it up. I believe this is probably the steepest part of the hill. To this point, I've been pedaling up here in level 2, assist level 2, in gear 3. I'm gonna try starting right there at that exact same thing. We're gonna pedal up past, and I mean this thing is doing great to this point. So let's see what happens. Nice cold rainy day for shed hunting. So. All right, we're gonna put her up to level 3, level 4. All right, I'm working pretty hard here. It's a really steep part of the hill. Didn't see much of a change between level 2 and level 4. Level 5 still says it's in eco mode. I don't know exactly what that means. I don't know how to change that mode. Still in gear level 3. The ride's pretty nice. I let a lot of the air out of the tires. When I got it, it was at 25 pounds in the front, 25 pounds in the rear. I lowered it down to 7 in the front and 5 in the rear. That has helped out a lot. The front forks are a lot stiffer than other bikes, which is nice because this is a heavy bike. All right, we're gonna switch over to all throttle now, no pedaling. All throttle, level 5, 10 miles an hour. This is pretty flat here, and then there's a pretty good hill coming up. Clear up to 14 miles an hour there. All right, I'm not gonna pedal. This is no pedaling. 10 miles an hour. $8 miles an hour. This is a pretty good part of the hill here. It's level 5, no pedaling. Yeah, that's impressive. That is very, very impressive. Still all throttle. Oh, she knows this one. There we go. Still 7. That's the lowest I've been. 7 miles an hour. Mine just is all throttle, no pedaling. All right, next big hill. So at this point in time, I'm actually trying to destroy the battery. I want to see how much battery I'll get running it as hard as possible. Okay, so I had these down to 2 red bars, and then it came back up. As you can see, I started at 4 miles. I'm now at 12.6. I have it in number 5 for pedal assist, but I'm trying not to pedal. I'm going to be running this as much as I can thumb up this hill. That's a pretty intense hill. So I'm going to show you guys that the whole way. Alright, like I said, all throttle. I'm in gear 1, so I'm trying to help this bike as little as I can. Going downhill.
Workout resumed.
No pedaling. Right there. Yeah, we're killing that battery. Trying to put it through its paces for you guys. Worried about getting back to the truck though. No pedaling yet. Down to 6 miles an hour, 5 miles an hour. Oh, I got to pedal. All right, now I'm pedaling. That's gonna help it out. All right, back on the throttle. Another good sized hill. We're already losing here. I'm gonna pedal. I want to get back to the truck. I'm down to 1 bar. Okay, it's flashing 1 bar red at me. That means I'm in trouble. As you can see, 15.7 miles. So I'm almost at 12 miles, and I have not been gentle on it. It's been a lot of full throttle, not a lot of pedaling. I'm really trying to put this bike through its paces. Okay, I'm home now, so we're going to check the battery life. 16.1 miles, 3 bars of battery. So that means I put 12 miles on it today. We'll talk about that in a second. I want to talk to you about the bag. This is the bag that came with the bike. I don't know how much that bag is, but I really like it. It has many, many uses, and I think I'm going to leave it on my dual sport here. I think it looks pretty good on the dual sport. All right, everybody. There's the videos of the hill climbs and everything else that I've done on the bike today. I really wanted to put it through its paces today. So I only got 12 miles on it, but it was a hard 12 miles in regards to battery usage. I tried not to pedal much. I tried to throttle a lot of these hills, and a lot of the mileage that I put on was full throttle mileage. I tried not to pedal. I really wanted to see what the battery expectations were. I mean, the expectations I hear online are 35 to 55 miles out of this bike. And I believe if you're in a system mode 1 and you're pedaling, I do believe that you could hit that 35 mile mark. Flat ground, maybe 55. But from what I've seen today, I throttled this bike a lot. I did a lot of hills. Nothing was in favor of battery life today. We had a high temperature today of 39 degrees. It was rainy, so the roads I was on, they were muddy. That's going to make the bike work harder. I have the tires aired way down for better comfort when I'm riding, so it sucks up more of the bumps. That's going to make it harder on the battery. I'm 200 pounds plus my bag, so I mean, I'm nowhere near the weight limit on the bike, but I'm not 100 pounds, so the bike is working just carrying me. So I'm truly impressed with how it did. 12 miles, it still shows 3 bars of battery. That's after it's been sitting for a little bit. But I rode it to the area that I went shed hunting, and it sat there for 3 hours, which, there's the shed I found today. So, pretty excited about that. You don't find the shed every day. So the bike sat there in the cold for about 3 hours outside, and then I put it through its paces. I did another 10 miles where I just ran throttle. So I'd like to dive into the actual my thoughts on the bike. So 750 watt motor. I'm comparing this against the Sonata Sabre that I had last year. I would say that the Sonata Sabre was faster. The battery sucked. This one, the battery doesn't suck in my opinion. The best mileage I ever got out of the Sonata Sabre was 10 miles, and that was me conserving battery life. Today I got 12 miles, still had battery left, and was trying to wear the battery down. So A+ in my books there. The other things that I like, the derailleur works fine. I really enjoy the thumb throttle instead of the quarter twist throttle. I feel like I can lock more in when I'm riding. If I stand up, it's a lot easier to run this throttle than what it was to like hang on and run that quarter twist. I know a lot of them bikes have the quarter twist. I really wasn't a fan of that. I really enjoy the thumb throttle. Speaking of the throttle on this bike, my other bikes, as I've had 2 other e-bikes. I still have an Amazon e-bike that's a 350 watt e-bike. It's more of a mountain bike with a battery on it. And then I had the Sonata, which was pretty much identical to this bike, and this one. And those other 2 bikes, when you hit the throttle, it was like full power right now. This one kind of eases you into the power. Like it eases in and goes. I don't like the other bikes going straight to full power, so as soon as you hit it, it like snaps your neck and you're gone. But then this one I feel is too far on the other side of that. So like you hit full throttle and it's like laggy, like it's slow. I wish they made that come on a little quicker, not much. And this is just personal preference. But I wish it was a little quicker. But I do like the fact that it's slower than the other bikes. So the next thing, since we're up here, the grips are comfortable. They are a little slick, so if they get wet, you might slide a little bit. But they do give you that bump out for your palms, so it's not terrible. I also like how the grips are bar locked on, so they won't twist. They won't slide off. So I like that. I like the power on in the modes, the adjustments on here, the way you hit the buttons, that's all comfortable. I also like the fact that you can position the handlebars anywhere you really want them, forward, back. You can really tailor it to the way you want to ride or your size. Because this head will move up and down, and then the bars will slide. So you can really get a lot of good adjustment out of the handlebars, which I like. The seat's comfortable. The tires did okay. I went through some mud. She got squirrely on me. I almost wrecked it a couple of times. But it was really muddy out today, and as you can see from the bike, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you're on a almost 80-pound bike, and you get in the mud like that, and you know, just running throttle. Now, if I was pedaling through it, it'd probably been a lot better, but just throttling through it washed out on me a couple of times. But no real complaints there. I also like how it comes with a provision for a water bottle holder. The other bikes that I have don't have that provision. I really like that that's there. And I mean, you can also have some sort of bag in there if you wanted. But another thing that I like is I like how low the battery is in the frame. It gets some of that weight down. The bike is heavy, but it doesn't feel top heavy. So that's nice. I haven't noticed anything loosening up like I had problems with on the Sonata. My crank's still tight. Nothing is loosened up on there. So overall, I am very, very pleased with this bike. I did talk a little wee bit about the headlight. The headlight on this bike is great. It also has tail lights. When you hit the brakes, it brakes. It shows brake lights. So I like that stuff. If you're an urban commuter, that kind of stuff is wonderful. The headlight will do you great in those kind of environments. I wouldn't be afraid to run this thing through the woods in the dark. That light is plenty bright enough for that. But now let's talk about the brakes. The brakes are not very good. This is a lot of bike. It's hard to stop. But this is more of a budget bike, so you're going to have those kind of things. I wish they would have maybe went with maybe a hydraulic brake on this bike, but they didn't, so it's okay. They stop you. They're not going to stop you on a dime. But next thing, front suspension. The front suspension did wonders. I am very pleased with the ride quality of the bike. It doesn't leave me, I don't know. It doesn't bounce me all around. It did really well. At one point in time, I actually had my backpack up here, which is adding weight to the front suspension, and I didn't even really notice the weight up there in the front. So the bike does good. I'm very pleased with the performance of the bike and everything about it to this point. So I do wish that it had both sides, like a chain guard on both sides, just to help with like sticks or mud getting into the chain, and maybe popping it off. But it doesn't. I don't know if that's something I can add. I may look into that. That's one thing I wish they would have done. The pedals are good. They're metal. They feel fine. They held my feet on just fine. No issues there. One of the other things that I do like about this bike, and it's something that I didn't see on any other bike, is the fact that you can adjust your fenders in and out. So if you want your fender closer to your tire, you can move this in, and you can get a little bit more fine-tuned adjustment out of it. And I thought that was kind of neat, and I really did like that feature. But other than that, I don't really have anything else to say about it. As you can see in the videos, everything that I went through the bike handled well. I mean, I still have 3 bars of battery left and I have 12 miles on it. And I feel like if I ecoed that around and pedaled it, I feel like I could get another 8 miles. I feel like I could hit 20 miles. So I'm extremely happy with the battery life. That was my biggest concern. And I bought this bike used, so I really didn't know what I was getting. Yeah, it was super clean and only had 2.5 miles on it, but you don't know how the guy took care of it. Did he leave the battery sit outside all winter, you know, and destroy it? But no, I'm completely happy with how this bike performed today. I'm going to be going back out tomorrow, trying to get more, you know, the white gold. So I'll run it through some more paces tomorrow. And all right, so that concludes my review. I'm going to call this the torture test. Put it through its paces. So if everything goes as well as I think it will, there won't be another review on this bike. I mean, I think it did everything that I could ask it to do. So with that being said, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I'm super close to 500 people. It's a goal of mine to hit 500. So please make sure you're liking and subscribing. And if you have any questions or comments about the bike, let me know. We'll catch you guys later.